Right. So accordingly, there are two types of mechanical waves as longitudinal and transverse waves. Okay, right. So when there are some terms, as I told you at the beginning of the beginning of the unit, there are certain terms that you need to know, Puta. Crest and trough, right? Crest and trough. The particles at point A and B have traveled the maximum distance in the upward direction, right? So, when the particles travel the highest point that they can, when a wave is occurring, we call that point as the crest, right? And the least, right, you can see over here, the particles C and D have traveled the maximum distance in the downward direction, right? So we can imagine this thread as in the beginning it was like this, no Puta? So when you give it a disturbance, right, what happens? They will try to move in this type of a curvy manner, right? So the crest is the highest upward direction, right? Maximum distance in the upward direction, and the trough is the maximum distance in the downward direction, C and D. Okay, so I was telling you all to tell me the wavelength, no, right? So let me tell you in this manner. A crest to a crest is a wavelength. A trough to a trough is a wavelength, right? So can you see it's going to be the same? Here, see, Puta. Half, full, and half. So it's always going to be 4 parts. Now see from here, C to D balanna. Half, full, and a half. So it's always going to be this kind of a figure. Now do you understand what is wavelength, Buddha? A crest to a crest, the distance between crest to a crest or a trough to a trough. Make sense?
Yeah, miss.
Okay, good. Right. Okay, so up and down the motion of the string again and again they are telling the same thing. Okay, so let's go here. Now transverse and longitudinal. Dan Puta made figure එක, right? This table is the difference between what two waves, Puta? These two. Mechanical waves දෙකයි transverse and longitudinal. මේ දෙකේ comparison එකක් තමයි they have given you in that table. So let's go through that table. Particles move perpendicular to the direction of the wave propagation. Yeah, it's always perpendicular. Wave goes the energy goes this way. If the wave is going this way, particles are going to move up and down in transverse. But look at longitudinal. Particles move parallel to the direction of the wave propagation. So if the wave is going to go this side, the particles are also going to go towards this side, towards the same direction, parallel, right? Not up and down. Propagate along the surface of solids, liquids, or along strings or wires. Example, water waves. Particles can propagate, or the waves can propagate through solids, liquids, and gases as well. So, sound wave is the example. පුතා ඔගොල්ලෝ ripples බලලා ඇති නේද? When you put a stone into water, you will see the ripples forming, no? Right? So that ripples is transverse waves forming. Okay? Water waves are transverse waves. Okay. Any questions regarding what we learned so far, Puta? Any questions, Puta?
Miss, I don't understand. So transverse waves is when you move it from left to right, like left to right, right?
Yes, Puta. I will show you a slinky moving, right? That way you will get the idea. Okay, give me a minute. Let me take this on my screen. Okay.
Miss, then how do we, like, I don't understand when you consider the slinky moving scenario and like throwing like a rock to water, like how is it the same?
Yeah, Puta. The slinky, okay, give me a minute. Okay, you mean now when we talk about transverse, Puta, transverse is ripples forming, no? Right? Water. So here the ripples form like this. So this is when you're looking from horizontal manner. When you look it on top, you will see this kind of a effect, no? So these
Mhm.
points are these points. And these points are actually under the water. Does that make sense, Puta? Now.
Okay, Miss. I thought like when you throw water, throw a pebble to the water, it like bounces or something like that.
Yeah, so what happens is, Puta, the wave is traveling, right? The energy is being transmitted and the particles are actually moving up and down. Okay, let me show that to you.